And here we go. What's up, guys? Welcome to hashtag Silas Horror. I am Silas Horror herself, or you can just call me by my government name, Cherie. So tonight we're gonna be discussing paranormal videos, ghost hunting videos, and the legit, legitimate, the legitimate videos that are out there and cases and whatnot. Um, Recently, I've been watching a lot of ghost hunting videos through either through TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I watch several channels that do cater to that, like Sam and Colby, Project Fair, um, Twin Paranormal, The Paranormal Experiment. Uh, there's a lot of channels I do watch and pay attention to, close attention to. Um, Also, I watch random channels like The Boys and stuff like that, Ghost Adventures. Who doesn't watch Ghost Adventures? It's a common thing we go through in life watching that stuff. Anyways, so as y'all know, the last Conjuring movie came out, and it came up about the Smurl family and the Smurl hauntings. So, spoiler alert: if you haven't watched Sam and Colby's latest video, they did go to that house to check it out, to investigate. And sometimes I do think some channels over exaggerate the evidence that they do recover, but this one kind of did fucking grab me by clutch my pearls, like literally. Um, do you ever believe in a phenomena where people put so much belief into something that it develops into something? You give it so much energy that you bring it to life. Well, according to this is what happened with the Smurl haunting, because there's not really sorry, excuse me, burped. There's not really any other type of haunting that was reported other than the Smurl haunting. You see how big it got, how much attention it got, and how coincidentally the activity got so much worse. So, if you hear that, it's the cats. They got the zoomies. Um, there's a lot of stuff, that preambles the whole. Is it a hoax? Is it real? If you watch that video, and they do say in the beginning of the video, you know, this might change the opinions of people. And to me, yeah. So it kind of just like grabbed me by the throat, and I was like, all right, so how legitimate are some of these videos? And paranormal experiences happen. They can happen to anybody. I've had a couple of my own. Um, I actually have a few stories that I can tell, but some of the stuff people won't believe. Um, I have an EVP of a place I worked at, and unfortunately, a tragedy happened there, and the people responsible were shot and killed in that store. Anyways, I was walking in the aisles, just shooting, asking questions, and I, w- I didn't think I was gonna get any type of response, but I heard no, like a harsh whisper, no. I'll probably try to post that shit later, but anyways, this kind of like grabs me because I want to know how serious people are when it comes to ghost hunting, when it comes to urban exploring, stuff like this, when they post videos about people being haunted or haunted items. I do understand how that works. Trust me. Like I said, I've had some paranormal experiences in my life growing up as well. So with that being said, you'll probably hear background. I'm just gonna be checking out some videos and shit. So, but this is like where I'm gonna be asking, you know, questions or prompting questions. Sometimes I wonder, you know, if people give so much energy to things, does it make them more or less haunted? So I like watching Twin Paranormal because they actually just, have their equipment. There's no fucking thing triggering off. And they go in there with the background story, and this is shit. Like, you could go in the fucking forest and do this shit. Like, I wouldn't be caught there. And I am a fucking chicken. Sometimes I am a chicken. I'm not gonna lie. um, but I do love outdoorsy stuff. But I'm always at the whole fucking curiosity. Would you stop my Goodness, my cats have the zoomies, guys. Pardon them. Um, it's just how people react to stuff like this, and we do have ghost towns around where we are, where I live. Um, the one we did see before it got like tore down was Bonnie Springs. I caught some orbs in some of the shacks and shit. It was pretty cool though. I loved it. I loved being there. It was cool, but you can actually just feel the energy in that area. Um, there's places. Oh, hi, Beans. There's other places out here, like that are haunted, and you can feel the energy, and like it's just crazy. But it depends on the person and the place and like the vibes that people bring. To me, it's just like sometimes people are conduits, and I did get asked like, how come you haven't been to Zach Bagans Museum before? Like I said, I'm a chicken shit, and like I said, I have a thing, or this is my belief that I attract certain energies, and with my luck, I might bring something home. And if y'all didn't know my ethnic background, I'm indigenous, I'm Native American. And in the month of November, yay, happy Native American Heritage Month, yay. Anyways, um, I grew up with the belief that you don't question things and don't be too nosy when it comes to stuff like this. But the family I come from, um, I have seen a lot of stuff because of, I just certain things, I can't really go into it. And some people do, but I choose not to because, yeah, like I said, people sometimes will like, nah, that didn't happen, but you just don't know. And just to clarify some shit, and this is, no disrespect to my Dene brothers and sisters out there, but for every outsider out there saying that something that looks like a rake or a misshapen thing is a skinwalker, it's not a skinwalker because that strictly is of Dene folklore. And it's basically, in our beliefs, even they, you even say the names, it's like you're calling them to you. So you guys keep saying that you're not calling it to you. You're not, looking for what you're looking for. And there's another thing my grandfather said. Yeah, Beans, you tell him. Don't go looking for stuff that you're not gonna be prepared to be. It's gonna show. It's gonna show up eventually. So when I see videos, say, "Oh my God, it's a skinwalker." Oh my, no, no, it's not. That's what you think it is, and it's not. Yeah, what Bean said. Anyways, there are things that go bump in the night. There are horror stories where different creatures are out there, and I do, yeah. Some and call me crazy, but yeah, there's stuff that goes bump in the night, and I've seen some of that shit. And like I said, I wouldn't want to go and talk about it because I don't want to have fucking nightmares at 3 o'clock in the morning or 2:30, or wake up and think something's fucking watching me or some shit. Even though it's my cats, but yeah. Anyways, so there's different places out in the world, and people are brave enough to go and check it out. And my hat's off to them. I mean, like they were, ow, Diosa, what the hell? My cat just bit me. Little meanie. Why are you biting me, dude? Oh, should say better. So, it's just a whole process of seeing is believing type shit. There's some people that actually fabricate evidence. Yeah, people superimposing pictures. Yeah, people editing videos. It just kind of makes you wonder, ow, stop biting me there. It kind of just makes you wonder, like, what is a legitimate scary video? And you have the ones that are saying, oh, they're from the dark web. I don't fuck with that shit. Dude, like I said, I'm a scaredy cat. So, I've been watching a bunch of, like, stuff like Project Fear, Ghost Adventures, all the ghost event hunting shows I've watched. Ow, Diosa. Stop it, you psycho. Biting the shit out of me for no reason. Mind you, this is my other cat. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I watched the ghost hunting shows. I watched all the other shit when I was growing up. I watched, the reality TV thing with the people going out there going to haunted places like Fear. I don't know if any of y'all remember MTV's Fear when they would send random strangers into fucking haunted places to see if it was haunted. There was a place in Mexico where they were so fucking scared, both teams tapped out. And I ain't gonna lie, I mean, this shit around that area was kind of creepy. Like, but then again, you gotta remember there's legend and folklore that was brought up, and it was kind of feeding into some of the, the fear into people. But this is what like I said, people who go look for shit and then like go bump in the night will eventually find it. And sometimes I think people kind of over exaggerate their evidence and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not saying who, because people, but I'm just saying, like, in general, there's like some fucking channels that fake evidences. There's some that don't, and the ones that don't, I have like, they got more balls than me. I wouldn't want to do that. Like, out of curiosity, I did download the spirit box thingy. I asked questions, no answer. Gave another 3 tries, no, nothing. So when I went to that place, I recorded EVPs there. That's what I got. So there's just like a lot of different like offbeat topics I would talk about. Um, like I said, one of the things that does piss me off a lot, being like, that's everyone kind of assumes that we're gonna be talking, like, everyone. I'm fucking stuttering here. Sorry guys, it's been a minute, and I want to apologize for my lack of posting things. Like I said, if you didn't see my Instagram post, life has been kicking my ass lately, and you know what? Trying to get my shit back into order. So here I am. And I just want to bring this up because I was gonna do the 31 days of Halloween and talk shit about movies like I always do, but I was just kind of not feeling it, and this year really fucking sucks. So I was just like, all right, cool, whatever. Anyways, what was I? What was I talking about? Yeah, ghost hunters, ghost hunting in general. I mean, I'm I'm curious, but not curious enough to go do it because, like I said, I have that whole paranoia. Like, if I go, I might fucking bring something home with me, and that's terrifying altogether. Um, and it's just in general, you know what I'm saying? But you can feel, like, you go to certain places that are well aged and whatever. You can feel energies, people there. It's just, people have their own experiences. Some people tend to film it, some people don't want to film it, and some people over exaggerate it. And I'm not discrediting the Warrens on some of their cases, but some of their shit was fake. I mean, hate me if you want to, but I'm just saying, because some people have posted shit on YouTube, have made stuff about it, and then like some of the things, like I said, were over exaggerated. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go and like, you know, I was gonna go take my family to go see The Last Rites, but we actually just bootlegged it because I wasn't gonna fucking spend $30 to see something I didn't really fully understand. Because the movie Last Rites was, to me, I didn't really give a lot of background info other than these people were being haunted. That's about it. There was no really backstory about who, what, when, where, and why. Like, how it gave in the previous movies. But I'm like, okay, whatever. So back to Sam and Colby. They did a thing called for Helma. They went to Poveglia. They went to the Paris catacombs. They went to England to summon the devil. They did a bunch of shit, And the Smurl house was the last house. Was the last place. And a bunch of shit just did not add up for me. And I'm a person that likes to watch stuff like that watches stuff and pays attention to some of the detail. Like, how are you so sure that this is happening, this is happening, this is happening? When that whole thing happened, the immediate attention and all this fucking just built up a whole thing, and it actually created a new thing. And when you watch that episode of Sam and Colby online on YouTube, it just describes them, doing the spirit board session. They did it, and I appreciate that they actually did shit the right way and not half-assed it. Because, like I said, there's certain things that people do online that kind of piss me off, and like I respect all types of different things. When people try to contact the dead and they use a spirit board, they don't use the proper what's the word I'm looking, mannerisms when you're using a spirit board. My personal opinion, I wouldn't fuck with them because that's not my Kool-Aid, but whatever. Um, it was just kind of like, and then they had a priestess there. So she was showing them how to do it the proper way and not the half-assed way. Like I've seen so many people do the half-assed way and just start talking shit and start instead of saying, greeting them, saying goodbye, closing the door. But when you use a Ouija board or a spirit board or whatever, um, you open the door. You're opening that doorway, that portal where whoever's gonna pop up and talk. But this is a big mistake that some people do, and they don't close the door they open, and that's what gives them the leeway to come through, and that's why people get haunted. Bad shit happens, and it's there's a bad lesson that people need to learn. But it's I like I said, I appreciate it. The time they took to ask questions, and like I said, watch that, and it's gonna make you question shit. Other videos I tend to watch. Some of it I'm like, okay, I know they use equipment, I know they use digital stuff, and some of the shit's not prompted on there. Like certain words are not prompted. A lot of stuff isn't only on there, and that's what you get. What gives you the legitimate answers, the legitimate causes, whatever answers, the responses. I think if you use the fucking equipment the right way, and that like have it staged and talking shit, because people do fucking stage shit like that. And when it comes to TikTok, when people edited videos, when they edit videos and make, there's a ghost here. I've seen the fucking ghost apps. You can add ghosts to. I've seen the same shit too. Um, then you have people that have more balls than me, because like I said, I'm afraid to get. They go into cemeteries, they take videos, they fucking record stuff, and they do sessions, EVP sessions out there, and to me, I do appreciate that because they, like I said, they go out there when people don't want to. Like people don't want to go out there, but they're curious. Some people are that ballsy enough to pique everyone's curiosity and carry it with them. Um, That's what I like about it. It's not like people these days and getting all scared. Oh no. Gosh, guys. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've been on here, and like I said, I kind of already had put some stuff online saying I was gonna record tonight, and then I was like, do I do it? Should I do it? Like, no, I'm gonna fucking do it. Like I said, life has been life, and there's a lot of shit going on. Um, Over the past couple months, I've been watching a lot of stuff. Different channels, different things. I've been getting into different hobbies that I want to talk about. Movies, I want to fucking critic. Music, I want to fucking critic. Congratulations to Sleep Token and Deftones on their Grammy nominations. But I love Deftones. I was there on March 8th when they were here in Vegas. I had a front view of Chino Marina and I was fucking happy. Anyways, um, other events that happened while I was in my hiatus, we lost the Prince of Darkness, which is upsetting. I cried. I think I woke up and I saw that I got up and I started crying and I went to my mom's room and woke her up and she was like, "Why are you crying?" And I told her. So she was crying. Congratulations to Soundgarden for getting inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as well as Outkast. I cried as well because Toni Cornell sang one of the songs that her father had performed, and yeah, I just got all like, yeah. um, like I said, I'm a lover of music. I'm a connoisseur of music. I love music that reaches your emotions and grabs you by like, all your feelings and shit. And like I said, again, I'm gonna keep fucking repeating. Sometimes the music in my playlist have been really grabbing me by the fucking balls here. Like seriously. Um, I was going through a very bad time, had a really bad um, off and on thing, and it came to an end. So, it was just like really um bittersweet. And then when my fucking playlist plays out, I'm like, all right, cool. bitter reminders, but once you keep listening, this shit fades away, and you start to feel better about yourself. And music is my therapy. So it was a lot. And then I have a fucking high schooler now. They're in high school, so life is life. And um, other than that, random topics come up I want to talk about, then I get like fucking sidetracked. So yeah, I have a brain of a goldfish. So some shit happens, some shit doesn't. I think that's what I do now. And like, hopefully I'm gonna keep this shit back on every week like I used to. I know I've been slacking bad. I'm so sorry, guys. I love my fans. I know I love you all for listening, paying attention. I actually did a music review for a friend of mine, but due to copyright and the music licensing, it cut off her music. So you just have a bunch of dead air. That me talking shit and then more dead air. But I love Raz. You guys gotta check that album out. It's Price Sacrifice. You find it on Spotify, Apple, wherever you can get your music. That's where you're gonna find her. Let's see what else happened in this little life of mine. I know some people are like, what the fuck is this bitch talking about? Yeah, I'm everywhere. Like I said, I have a brain of a goldfish. Some shit happens, some shit doesn't. Yeah. Anyways, so I just tuned into MTV Sphere. Um, he posted a, let me turn it up a wee bit. Oh no. I love how raw this was back in the day. Like they were fucking just like threw him in the dark places and didn't give a fuck if something was in there. So I know they're at West Virginia State Penitentiary, and they just sent somebody to the hole. And then they're gonna send the girl that said she was Wiccan to the Sugar Shack. But yeah. Oh Jesus, silly, silly goose. I got people messaging me some like, yeah, like random shit. I got like random videos everywhere. Um. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So like I don't like scary TikToks. I love jump scares too, because even though I'm a fucking weirdo when it comes to horror movies, I love horror movies, but I'm a self-proclaimed scaredy cat. Okay, don't bust my balls. um, yeah, I like watching a bunch of shit. So it's like I'll watch stuff and I get scared and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I'll like, end up watching it with everybody else, and it gets there, and then like me and my sister like watching stuff like this, and we'll watch stuff on UFOs, and like I said, in the state we live in, it's not common to not see one because of what's in our state. But yeah, um, so we live in Nevada, and every other day you look in the sky, you see some weird shit, and people dismiss it, some people don't. Um, I'm one of those ones that pays attention, and I'm like, oh great, but it's not to the point where I'm gonna fucking put foil on my head. I mean, just saying. Um, let's see. Watching special ed. The guy from The Boys reviews scary TikToks because it's funny. Oh, to me, it's funny. Anyways, my little small rant about paranormal stuff is over, so you guys can be like, "What is this fucking bitch talking about?" um, yeah, I just been just doing stuff to um keep my momentum going because yeah, like I said, there was a point in my life where I was kind of like I was there. Now I'm like, okay, I'm good. You know, everyone's got that moment in their life where they're okay, then they're not, but they'll be okay again. So that's what counts. You have the right people around you, the right support system around you, you're good. So um worried about just stuff that was totally out of my control. So yeah, and I'm glad I have my friends, my family, um, you know, be there as my shoulder to cry on. I love you guys. To people that still follow me, watch me do my random shit on TikTok or Instagram. You guys are cool. Appreciate y'all. You know, um, to my people that have been actually keeping in contact with me, making sure I'm I'm motivating myself. I'm good. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. And but like I said, I'm gonna be doing more fucking horror movie reviews. I kind of stuck there. Um, so there was one that I really haven't paid attention to, and me and the offspring kind of like watching it because we have a bunch of fucking theories when it comes to the movie. But even though we've seen it a million times, we still come up with our own theories. But if y'all see Midsummer, everyone doesn't get it, but you have to watch it a couple times to fucking get it. I love how it's a kind of like a thing for like kind of like a gives you a Wicker Man vibe, kind of sort of. And to me, it's just like the vivid. It's cool because it's like everyone's dressed in white, and then there's like a pop of color because of flowers and stuff like that, or the area they're in, and it's pretty cool. And it kind of gives you a whole lesson like don't travel. I mean, travel, but don't travel. Don't be too fucking nosy. Yeah, but yeah, to me, I can't explain it in my own words because like I'm like oh man, but to me, I appreciate the whole cinematic feed it gives off. Um, what the hell? Lady's dragging herself around. I think she's just high. Watching Ed and narrator. Fucking this chick is tweaking. Oh my god. I can't watch shit like this. I'm horrible. I'll say stuff. I'm a person that talks a lot of shit and it's kind of funny in a way, and then everyone's like looking at me like, what the hell's your problem? Anyways. Oh god, what did they do? Ew, what did they do to Thomas Air Chain Engine? They just pulled his face off. Poor thing. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up for now, guys. Sorry for the long, weird, off topic, on topic bullshit rant. Um, First episode in a long time. Sorry for all this other stuff. I will be filming for YouTube soon. Eventually, when I, stop being camera shy again. Fuck, it's been a minute. If you got something to say, hit me up on Snapchat at Silas Horror. You can hit me up on Insta, message me, and if you want me to talk about any fucking topic, got something to say, whatever. All right, guys. So, love, peace, and fabric grease. Happy Indigenous Heritage Month, and we'll check you out next one. If you got any other stuff you want me to review, music, whatever, hit me up. Um, yeah. So, bye.